So you know that I have OCD and anxiety, and I have talked about the medications that I have taken. You can go check out that video whenever you get a chance. If you're thinking about taking medication, this is going to be a personal choice. What you take, when you take it, and how long you take it is also going to be a personal choice. I did not take medication for many years. I was suffering all my life, but I didn't get really severe until in my late 20s. So I avoided medication for a long time. In some ways, I regret that because I feel that maybe I could have gotten a little better earlier in my life. But at the same time, I feel that I'm glad that I had the opportunity to do it without medication because it taught me what I'm really made of. And it taught me to actually cope without the help of medication. So I have both experiences. And I think that experience of having years without it has made me able to not have medication right now. But that may be a different experience for you out there. So do you need to take medication? How bad are your symptoms? If you have OCD and your rituals and compulsions are interrupting your day to the extent that you are having a hard time just navigating daily life, might be time to look into medication or try therapy. And if that is not helping, then maybe medication would be the next step. Or you can do the two together, therapy and medication. So I started taking medication only 5 years ago, and I'm 47 years old. I just was not dealing with issues well. And I had a horrible relapse, and I thought, I'm not feeling any better, and I'm just trying and trying. So maybe it's time. And it was very hard for me to take medication because I had that fear around it. But once I started it, it became a little better for me. If you do decide to take medication, don't be like me, because I didn't research any of the medication that they gave me because I was too scared to look, because with my symptoms of OCD, I really didn't want to know what was going to happen, because if I did, then I wouldn't want to take it. So I didn't research anything. And I was on a medication that caused me to gain a lot of weight. And had I known that that was one of the side effects, then I probably would have rejected that medication when my doctor offered it to me. So please do your research if you do decide. Also, I want to give you an idea of what medication will do for you and what it won't, or what it did for me, because it might do something completely different for you. For me, it gave me a better way to cope with my symptoms. So my anxiety settled down a little bit. The compulsions and rituals for my OCD, maybe not as severe, although it did not stop me from doing compulsions and rituals at all. And it did not stop the horrible thoughts that I was having around OCD. The thoughts would come, but because my anxiety levels were lower with the medication, then I wasn't having the triggered anxiety response to the thoughts. So the thoughts became a little less because I was killing that triggered anxiety response that I was having to the thoughts. So that did happen for me on medication. I decided to quit medication because after being on it for so long, I was on it for about 5 years, 5 or 6 years. I noticed there were some things I didn't like. Like sometimes it will make you feel like you cannot cry. And that was a really weird feeling to me. Completely kills your libido. For me, it did. Completely made me fat. And if you go take a look at my previous videos, you will see that I have lost a lot of weight since I stopped the medication. And it also was making me sleep very shallowly. So I would never sleep deeply. I would always fall asleep, but not quite getting a good sleep. And with all of those side effects, I was like, I think I want to try not being on it. And so far, with being on supplements and doing other things like exercise and things like that, I feel that I am maintaining, but it takes a lot to do that. You have to be diligent about complete wellness, because you have to make sure that you are attending to everything else as far as your diet, as far as getting out and getting moving, and also as far as keeping people around you who are not negative, but positive. And I talk about that in a previous video I just did about keeping toxic people away from you. So all of those things have to be in place, I think, to really navigate anxiety and OCD without medication. So if you're going to take medication for anxiety and OCD, please do your research. Make sure you know what you're taking. Make sure you know the side effects before you go in. Also, if you want to have a plan in action so that you're not on medication for the rest of your life, then you need to have an enter and exit plan. So you need to decide, I'm going to take it for this long, and then I'm going to start doing this in order to move myself away from that. And I also have videos about other things you can do besides medication. So please check those out. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments. Like, subscribe, come back. I am trying to put more information together for this community. So please support and come over here and help us get well together. And I will talk to you next time.